Hey YouTube comic community, this is Jimmy the Geek Aficionado, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Grail Run. This is your first time tuning into one of these episodes. Let me just give you a brief introduction. The Grail Run is a motivation that I have to find and acquire 60 Grail level comics in 60 months. Now, we're on number 9 right now. That's what we're going to talk about. And if you want to catch some of the previous ones that I've acquired, definitely go back and check the channel for the playlist titled Grail Run, and you will find all of the juicy titles that I've already picked up so far. Now, this one is a very special episode because this required the assistance of a couple other high-end collectors. What do I mean by that? It means that I found a Grail on my list that cost quite a pretty penny, and I had to unload another large Grail that I had in a higher grade into a lower grade in order to free up some capital in order to get that particular book. I had a copy of Fantastic Four number 48 in a 9.4, and in order to free up capital, I needed to sell that book off with the intent to purchase a lower grade copy of it, so I'd still have it. But that 9.4 had a very tasty price tag on it. So I'm going to jump into the trade session that was done with a couple other YouTube and Instagram people, and we'll see the interactions, the interplay, the conversation that was happening there. And then when we come back out of it, I'm going to show you what I did get, what I acquired from that trade, and what I did with it in order to get the Grail that I wanted and show that book off. Let's check this out, and we'll see you at the end.
We're trying to get Daniel this guy.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Oh yeah.
Right? I'm going to tell you the only reason it's a 9.4 is this top corner right here has wear, and that's the only reason it's a 9.4. Otherwise, it would have been a 9.6 or better.
Well,
but
did you buy that grade, or did you grade it yourself?
I bought it raw and had it graded.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it came with a collection. There was actually I think a dozen of those in the collection, and of course, since I was grading the collection, I cherry picked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've had that for a while, right?
I bought so I got that actually. I got that in trade for the in cost for the work I did, right, along with some other books from that collection, and I want to say it was probably 6 years ago. Yeah, I got it, and then I had it graded. I want to say 2017. 2018 C2E2 did on-site grading, and it's never been. I never pressed it, right, because I wasn't even into pressing at the time. But it, like I said, it came back in 9.4. They had to upcharge me on the on the grading because I was thinking it was like a 9.0, 9.2, and it came back in 9.4, and I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. That's a little bit higher than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, so my view on that book is in a high grade like that, man, it's a killer book because for so long, First Silver Surfer was underrated and just overlooked, and then it sort of has caught up a lot recently. But I mean, if you look at Silver Age Marvel Keys, that's up there, man. I mean, I know it's later in the Silver Age, so there's more copies out there, but yeah, that's a big key, man, and a grade like that's no joke, man. That's legit.
No, and I mean, while there are probably more higher grade copies of that book than say a lot of other books, of that time, but there's not that many keys out there that are high grade in that period of time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But it does make it a lot of fun.
Yeah. I like to see, when I look at the census for a book like that, if I can afford it and find it, I like to either look where the census drop is, which varies by book, or just try to get something in the top 10% of grades. So for that book, there's 6339 blues and 140 above that. So it's like in the top 2.5% of all grades. So yeah, that's a premium copy. So yeah, let's get this in the ref's hands. That's an awesome book.
Yeah, no, let's see what we can do. You know, obviously I messaged you and I was like, hey, you know, I like that book, and it all started with, I was kind of, you know, exploring the idea of potentially looking for an upgrade, and then I was talking to DS, and he says, well, you know, Geek Aficionado's got 9.4, and I said, oh, really? And so, because I have an older label, and James knows this, I have an older label 8.0, you know, with the original first label, and we've joked about the whole CPR thing, but I just never did enough or anything. But which 8.0 is a respectable grade for sure.
It totally is.
Yeah, and that's a beautifully centered copy. That you guys know that book is always under wrapped, and that one is not. That's a nice, yeah. But I like 90% of them are under wrapped, where it cuts in a little to it, which is just part of that book. So I had a 7.0 white pager that was perfectly wrapped, and I had no problem selling that. But that was high grade. But 8.0 and 9.4 is crazy.
And so, you know, whenever I figured that I'd reach out and see if, you know, we could work something out as a trade, you know, cash deal. And then, you know, I know you got sights on an ASM 1, and this we've now entered the meme of the Spider-Mans pointing at each other, like, I can help you, I can help you, I can help you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, and so I'm like, you know, I'm here to see how we can try to make something work out, because I'd love to do that.
Yeah, so I was thinking, I know Jimmy is you're trying to get some cash together to go after books that are specifically on your want list. And so when you're doing that, you always want to get, if you're doing trades or something, deals, you want to get books that are more liquid and easier to turn into cash. So what I'm here to do, if it helps you guys, like, I'm friends with both of you guys, I would love to help you guys facilitate a massive deal. Like, this is a huge deal for a community. I would love to see you guys do this deal. I will be willing to help out and maybe convert some of the non-liquid books to a little more liquid stuff, so Jimmy can get money quicker. And then, of course, yeah, I would get a benefit out of it, because I have books that have been sitting that have appreciated a little in value, that I could get a little trade profit on those, sort of, in any trade that I'm part of as part of this. But, you know, I'm not trying to be a GPA Nazi here, and, like, my goal here is to see you guys make a deal. And if that can benefit all of us, I'm down. And if not, that's cool too. But I have a lot of books that I'm not really attached to that are liquid, and I'm happy to convert some illiquid stuff to liquid, and then maybe I get a little PC value bump on some stuff too. Who knows?
Right. Oh, I hear you. And so, you know, and I think that I'm willing to definitely do that, as far as, you know, help obviously put cash and books towards it, and then like DS says, move books to him, and he turns that into cash value into you, and or however works, you know, what we work out. And so I don't know. I know the first step is saying that I did offer you the opportunity to have this 8.0 as trade, and then kind of go from there with cash on the rest, or value with the rest. And so I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're okay with that first step of the lease.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm going to take this out just that way you can see it. The only thing I want to show you is nothing. I mean, it does have a little bit of a crack. I mean, we can pay for it to get rehosted, or you can leave it like that.
I'll probably
Well, I guarantee you what he's going to do with that. As soon as he gets that's the case. It's coming out of that case and getting cleaned and pressed.
Well, because I'm going to want the newer case, you know. So
yeah, of course. And if you're
bother me.
And if you're going to reholder something, you might as well CPR it anyway. It's not going to be much more to get it graded than it is to just get it reholdered.
Yeah.
Really.
And one of the crappy things is how cloudy that case is. It's hard for me to tell, like, on the screen here, if there's like cleaning opportunity or not, or if I just go, all right, here, send it in.
Right. I got you. Okay.
But I'm taking it as an 8.0, right? If I decide to do something with it or not, you know, it's an 8.0.
Sure. Yeah. No, I hear you. I just wanted to, just like I said, just show it because of that, just for communication's sake. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do that for sure. I mean, I guess the next step is kind of figuring out where what other? I sent you a picture, right? So I pulled out.
Yeah.
You asked me for what other bigger books I have. I pulled out. I mean, I'll be honest. The only other big book that I have that's kind of off the table, I have a GM83, but I really do want to keep that for the PC. And
Are you sure?
Else,
I'll convert that. Send that to me. I'll convert it.
Convert it? Are you kidding me?
Which that's kind of like the book that I want to hold on to. But everything else that's big, I'm willing to put on the table. So,
pity.
You know, I do have. I know. I showed you this because you said you were looking for early Spider-Mans, but this is at a 8.0.
I actually do have that book, and that book is so high that it's just really kind of like it kind of puts me out of a price range for that, right? Like I dig that it's an 8.0, right? Because from an investment value, that's fantastic, right? DS knows that because he's been hoarding high grade Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
So I would. That 8.0 would interest me, and I know that's not a very liquid book because of the grade, and it's a very small pool of buyers ultimately when you put that out for sale, but it has a lot of value. So I would, if you guys want, I'd be happy to throw some books up if you guys want to try me to convert that into more liquid stuff, and I would be happy to take that if you all want to.
Okay.
Because I'm not trying to sell anything like. I would just put that in the box and it would sit. I'm not like I'm trying to raise cash right now with the Spider-Man. So
right. And then, well, I mean, I'm okay with that. I guess ultimately, then in that situation, I'm okay with saying, okay, I'll trade this book to DS, and then he converts it into other books that you would want. But I mean, ultimately, it's you're the one that's going to say yay or nay to the books he shows, because I'm not going to get those. I'm only focused on getting that one book right behind you. And so. That's I mean, it depends if you can do that, and then of course I know you showed some interest in. I have this in the Batgirl, the Tech 359.
I am interested in that book.
This is a beautiful book.
Interested in the book. Let's take that out of the bag.
Yeah, I can take it out too. But this is all from older label too, and this is nice. I have a 7.0, and that was my PC copy, and so I picked up this one. But since you asked me to pull out the biggest books I have, this is one of the other ones. So
can we take that out of the bag? I want to try to see that closer.
Ooh.
Yeah, show like the wrap on it and like the spine.
I'm gonna get it right here. If I'm going too fast, just tell me.
It's a nice book.
Yeah, that is a nice book.
It's a good color.
Yeah, the colors on it are really good. And I just submitted a 4.0-ish one that I had. I used to have a 5.0, and the colors on this is way better than any of those other two copies that I had.
You know, it's crazy. So I was cleaning that book yesterday, and I cannot recall, in all the books that I've cleaned, I cannot recall any other book ever having that back cover. Like no book that I've seen or cleaned has ever had that back cover.
Oh yeah, I don't think I have either.
Like, cause you like in the marbles, right? Like,
Yeah, the guy learned how to draw art.
How many of them have that? Or the art ones.
The art one is on so many. Yeah.
Yeah. But the colors on this are really, the color structure is really nice.
What's it? Is it off white to white?
Yeah, it's off white to white.
Yeah, and that's old school CBCS holder too. I mean, who knows if it would bump, but that would sparkle in a new CBCS case as well, or CBCS.
Absolutely. All right, so let's set that one aside. I like that one on the pile.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know where you guys are at, like value-wise, but it sounds, Jimmy, like you're interested in the FF48 8.0 and the Tech 359 and 7.5. Yeah. And then if he wants to throw up that 8.0 Spider-Man, the ASM4, I'm happy to pull out some books and see if you guys like. If we can make a pile that equals that, I'll do it if you want.
Otherwise, I'm good with that. It's up to him if he wants to go ahead and try to see some things you got to equal up to that 8.0 Spider-Man that would make you happy.
All right. So, well, let me ask you: was there anything that wasn't in the picture, Ref, that you were optioning to move?
That's not in the picture.
I have some need for some other Spider-Man issues in the 1 through 1 through 5 area besides the 4.
1 through 5. I don't have anything else in 1 through 5. I have a 6, but it's at the being not graded, and I would put it like at a 4.5. That's a lizard, right?
I got a 6. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the only one. Let me see the only other.
Yeah, I got a 2 and a 3 and a 6. But I mean, I can't use the 2 and the 3 to convert because they're 7.5s anyway, so they're already higher than
too high.
Yeah, I got that Strange Tales 110. That's a 2.5.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and that saves the. I'll cut down. I mean, what my target is for that book, which I'm happy to wait for the market to catch it. I'll cut a little bit off of that for value in this trade.
That's what I got that one. And then
what
I really
grade was that? On the
this 15? Is a 5.5.
5.5.
Do you have a 15, Jimmy?
I have one, but unfortunately somebody colored on the face of the chameleon. So it's
yeah, on the bottom though.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's funny. Yeah, this is a true first label.
First label CBCS?
Yeah. I think that's their second generation label.
The second gen? Oh, okay. I'm sorry then.
Yeah, that tech is their first gen label.
Oh, okay. Well, this is old.
The one with the.
They have a different label other than this one too. That's not the new one.
Yeah, that's the second gen, I think, because it has the rivets on it, and then the third gen is just like that, but it's a little cleaner. And then they have the new one now. Okay. I don't mind the labels. I mean, I don't love the labels. The labels are just bland but professional and cool. But their cases, I really like their new cases. I'm down with CBCS. I like their new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the new case.
Yeah.
I have like a couple other like bronze type books, smaller books, but nothing like crazy. I don't think I have anything much, to be honest with you. I have like a couple other nice books, but I don't know. There's stuff that I would want to hold for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that. That book is just way too high priced.
Yeah, it's high right now, but
like for a character that I've never really been fond of,
Right.
It's like it's nice to have it as a key for like from a asset perspective, but
sure,
like I'm not like hunting that thing down.
Right. No, I hear you. This is just to show off how this is in the PC, but really.
Wait, I remember that. That's right. You just had that remark put on there.
Yeah, I just had this remark by Joe Giella. So first Black Canary cover, and it's the only one now. Well, the first it'll be the only one that's signed, and then this is definitely the only one that's gonna be remarked. And so
it's just beautiful to look at it.
It is beautiful. I love it. I
Yeah.
I told you yesterday I was a little frustrated because this was actually a 2.0 one staple was detached, one was attached, and then it came back and now it says cover detached. So they detached it, so I'm a little upset at them, but I'm not gonna let it kill my joy because it's such a beautiful book,
Yeah, and a cover detached maxes out at 4. All the other defects are below that, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that didn't hurt the grade anyway, because that defect is above where the rest of the book is anyway. So that didn't hurt the grade on that. But yeah,
so it's just a matter of regrading, like, because their grading evolves over time, right?
Yeah.
Which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because if you try to grade something up or cross grade or anything like that, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, but no, so that's really it, man. I mean, I got, like I said, nothing. I have other books, but nothing like that. That are just gonna be like big chunks of. Well, only my last biggest book. I don't know if it interests you. I kind of want to hold on to it. That's why I haven't said anything. But I do really have a nice ASM 14. That is
nice. I do have a copy of that. It's not that high grade, but that is nice.
But I'm not gonna lie. I would prefer to hold on to it, but if it's like the something that you really feel you need to have, we can work it out. So.
Well, that definitely falls in the liquid category. I tell you that much.
Oh yeah, that book moves pretty easy.
But I don't know if you want to see what DS has got. Take up for that spot that ASM4.
Yeah. So do you want me to pull out some bronze stuff or not?
So this is more, so this stuff would be coming to me. Let's see. What do you got?
All right. Well, I got this. I know you're interested in that.
Yeah.
Dr. Strange.
This is a beautiful 2.5 white pager. I would say from the front, it really looks like a 4.5, and it's a 2.5 because of this piece missing.
Got a chunk out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's on the back. Staples are good. Otherwise, it's a nice copy, and it's a 4.5 from the front. But it's a 2.5 white pager. So I don't mind throwing that in. I don't know if this is something that interests you.
No, not
Okay.
really. I mean, it's not something that I don't have. Obviously not in that grade, but like I'm good. I'm comfortable with the grade I've got.
Okay, yeah, it's 8.5 white, so it's a nice high-grade copy of that.
That's a nice grade of that.
All right, I got 8.5 white of this. I don't know if that's something that interests you.
It's not. That one's cool, but that one's still like that's a hold until they actually do something with that character.
Yeah, I mean that's my plan because I have also this in an 8.0 white.
Right. Yeah.
I got 8.0 white, 8.5 white. So those are just sitting and marinating until as they go up, and then there's Warlock news. But I'm happy to move them if you're interested in either one of those. They're fairly liquid books, and they're nice high grades, and they're both white pagers.
Well, the 165 is already it's not through the roof yet, but it has gone up consistently over the last.
Yeah.
It's true.
I got a 9.4 white of this, perfectly centered and perfectly wrapped. I don't know if that interests you.
It's that perfectly centered, right? That perfect wrapping that because I have a 9.4, but it's not. It's got the white on the side.
Yeah, this one, and you can see the space up top.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's absolutely perfectly wrapped and perfectly centered. So yeah, the only I didn't buy this because I need to get the first Phoenix, but this is such a beautiful, beautiful copy that I broke a GPA record when I bought this at the time.
Did you?
Yeah, so that's available. I don't know. I'm hesitant to give up this one, but if it yields me a better book, we can throw in something like this. It's not a high dollar book.
I got one of those actually.
All right.
It's not enough for grading, but yeah, it's a high grader like that.
Yeah, 9.2 off white to white. I looked for a long time to find a nice high grade of this, and I finally did.
I've got one of those, and then two of the one where they're fighting the X-Men, that classic cover.
Oh yeah. There's this one. Obviously a bigger book. We just talked about that, so I don't know if you want that.
Everybody needs a FF5.
See, my problem would be letting it go for to become cash. Like I finally had one, but I had to let it go.
Yeah,
I don't know if you want something liquid. I got this. I know you have one for your PC.
Yeah.
But this is a really, really nice looking 6.0. It doesn't have any of that tanning that you see so often on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just perfect colors. It was obviously well protected over the years from humidity and light.
Yeah, it's a nice looking.
And it's an old holder. I don't know if it would bump. It doesn't have a lot of wear. It's nothing major. It just has a bunch of small, tiny wear. I got a perfectly centered and wrapped Ghost Rider 1 in a 9.4 white.
That's nice.
That is nice.
Those colors look really good on it too.
Yeah, I usually don't buy bronze that often anymore, but when I see one of these in nice high grade and it's nicely wrapped and centered, I have a hard time not grabbing it. And this one is not as perfect as you're going to find.
Yeah.
So there's that. I've got this is, I cracked it out. I bought it just because it was a good deal and the case was cracked. So I cracked it out. It was a 9.0 off-white to white CGC. But again, a nicely centered and wrapped high-grade copy of that. This was, where did I put the label? Yeah, here it is. Oh, it was a 9.0 white.
Nice.
Yeah, I should put that in the back of this. But I usually, when I send in for grading, I don't like to send the labels in with the book because I don't want them to know. I just want grading. And then later I send all the labels in separately.
So you have sent the labels in before?
Yes.
Okay.
But I have a big stack here.
If people do that, like I know people say they will, but I always feel like they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I keep all my labels, and then when I get enough, I send them in. So I've got I've got a stack here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'll probably throw these in an envelope, send them in. I don't know if they do anything with them, but I just send them in an envelope. And
well,
when you get the label, it's obvious that it came from a book that was cracked.
Yeah. So you gotta let them know, like, when that changes, they have to upgrade the census numbers, right? So you gotta let them know, hey, pull this one off. This is the new label that it's at.
Yeah. And then again, I know he has one. This one I bought from a dealer that was selling. They had purchased a collection from somebody that liked raw books, but that person was buying slabs to apparently ensure that the stuff was legit grade and not restored and complete and everything. And then when he bought the slabs, he cracked them out, but he kept all the labels. So
Paradise Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. And this one, he told me when I bought it that the owner recommended I get it pressed. It does have a couple small like dents on it, so it could press, but I don't know that this could be an 8.0.
Yeah, but that it's like the depth of the color breaks to it that's going to keep it where it's at or let it go higher.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see there's like 2 or 3 sort of dents on the cover. I don't see that that's going to bump it up to an 8, but I think it is a solid 7.5. It's legit. So I have that. This, I don't know if this is going to interest you because you already have it, but I'll just throw it out there. I've also got this in a 7.0. What that's worth, I mean, there's already an 8.0, and then you have my old copy anyway. You bought from me,
I mean, it's only a 2.5, but it's so nice presenting, though.
Yeah, that's the one you got from me. That was that's a good looking. Yeah, that was a
good looking too. Yeah, I'm okay with a 2.5. Like hit that, like like filling up the run, and if I come across stuff later on that's like high grade or something like that, but I'm not so attached to it that it's like I got to have that in a high grade,
Right.
Like there's some stuff where I'm like I want to get a nice copy of this, right? And it's like, all right, here's my range, or if it presents well, even if it's at a lower grade, I can get it.
I think there's a lot of books that can present well for like in a 3.5 range. I know yours is a 2.5, but a 3.5 range. Like I've seen other books that present really well, and it's like, if your goal is just to own it and be like, you can find a copy that, for lack of better words, makes you happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually averse to owning a book that's missing pieces, but it's like I have to begin to let go of that in some areas because if it's not missing a piece, it's a higher grade, and that higher grade kind of puts me out of a value that I can handle. Like especially as I started, getting into Golden Age, it's like Golden Age, you gotta let that go entirely, right? Or you'll never get the book. Like you gotta take what you can get, and be okay with that.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, the rest of the stuff I have a bunch of those ASMs in higher grades that you either already have or not interested in. I have a Silver Surfer 4 in a 9.2 white. That one I'm not pulling out unless you really want me to, but that one I'm not so worried about GPA on that. I feel like I know what it's worth, and if you guys want to discuss it at a legit value, I'm not trying to get some crazy value for it, but I will discuss that one. But it's not like I'm not going to pull it out because most people are not going to be interested in discussing that book. So
yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I mean. Yeah, that's what I've got. And I know there's enough books there to equal the value. And depending on what you want for your PC or what you may want to sell, these books, I think, the Ghost Rider, the X-Men 101, the Bronze, and, the ASMs, the Thor, and the Warlock stuff. Those are pretty liquid books, and they're smaller, so there's a bigger buyer pool. So those are easier to turn into money than an ASM 4 and 8.0.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I've got that FF5, which is not the perfect copy, but it is nice. And then the Strange Tales 110 and a 2.5 white, which is a great presenting lower grade copy. And, if you want to upgrade one of your ASMs, I got that 14 or the 6. And so, that's what I've got.
A lot of good options there, in my opinion.
Yeah,
some really good books.
there definitely is. Just trying to work out. All right, so.
And I saw you taking notes. You're like writing down the stuff that I had that you liked, and you're gonna,
Yeah.
So there's on the table.
Kind of going back and kind of comparing. So you know what? So that's a lot to think about. So we're gonna talk shop and we'll see what happens.
So as a matter of fact, we did conclude that trade negotiation, and there were some books passed around and some things gotten, and Ref got my copy of Fantastic Four number 48, the first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus cameo, in a 9.4, and I took back his Fantastic Four 48 in an 8.0 old label. So I still have a nice high-grade copy of this, but I also got, on top of that, this book here, Tomb of Dracula number 10 in a 9.0, which I was able to clean and press and get into a 9.2. That book was sold, and the capital came back in to the pool for the new Grail, and from DS Comics, I was able to pick up this sweet copy of Fantastic Four number 5 in a 3.0. It's missing a little chip out here, and if you watch one of my previous videos, you saw me present this. So this was part of that trade negotiation. I was able to get one of my Grails in there as well. So that's another one off the list. But between the cash transaction in this current transaction with Ref, the sale of the Tomb of Dracula 10 in a 9.2, and a little bit more kicked in on my end, I was finally able to purchase the second appearance of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man number 1, the first appearance of J. Jonah Jameson, the Daily Bugle, and the Chameleon in a nice 2.5. This is a really nice presenting copy. It's an older case, right? So it's a little cloudy. So we're gonna have to do something about that. Most likely it'll be. It's got a little bit of a spine roll and it's a little dirty on the back. So I think I am going to clean and press it. We'll see if we can get a little half grade bump on it. Not sure it's going to be possible, given the condition on it. But we're definitely going to try. We're gonna clean it up real good. It does have some opportunities for cleaning. I will definitely say that. And voila. So a hard way to actually get a big book. But the point of this is about turning equity in the books that you have into books that you want. I had a book that was a sufficiently high grade that I had plenty of extra equity in it that I could actually get another Grail and that same book in a slightly lower grade. And when I say slightly lower grade, we're only talking what? 859, 92, 94, 4 grade different. So, and that's, 4-point grades, not full grades. So an 8.0 is still in my hands for this book. So this matches up actually with my 49. So I got a nice little linear set here of 48 and 49. Now I got to get that 50 in an 8.0. Thanks, Otto. I blame you for this one, sir. That's all we've got. Please be sure to join me for the next episode of the Grail Run. Go ahead and click subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell. You'll find out the next one I get, as well as some of the other videos that I release. Thank you for watching. Thank you for checking us out. And stay classy, YouTube.